What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? It's Richie Believe, back with another video. I've been thinking about y'all. I'm gonna say this right now. This is gonna be probably the only time y'all gonna see me without a hat on because I'm a hat wearing guy. I ain't even gonna lie, I'm a hat wearing dude. But we gonna see about that. But this video today, right before, let's take our deep breath. Let's get one deep breath in. Thank you, God. Okay, so today I want to talk about validation and seeking validation. It's a very slippery slope talking about this because it's very human to seek validation, especially in these days and times. And I think I want to speak on this because it's something I heard a lot of people I've been talking to, like the passing bys of things. I feel like I've been seeing a lot of validation that's been seeking of validation that's wanted to be talked about. So one thing I want to say about seeking validation, it means nothing. It means nothing because seeking validation outside of yourself means nothing. Should I say that? You should be the only one to validate anything in your life. You should be the only one that you should be validated inside already with whatever you do. You know what I'm saying? Because validation leads to a expectation. Seeking a validation leads to an expectation. And when you're searching for expectations can often lead to disappointment, especially when it wasn't planned, it wasn't conscious. If you have unconscious and unplanned expectations, you're almost setting yourself up for disappointment. So seeking validation, you have to understand when you are seeking validation, you got to go in and really realize like what are you seeking validation for? Is it for something personal? Is it for something for approval to be a part of a group? Approval to your parents, approval to your friends, approval to somebody you're trying to talk to, somebody you're trying to seduce. And that doesn't have to be sexual, just meaning like that's somebody you're trying to be close with. You're trying to find out what validates you to them. And I'll tell you right now, understanding yourself and your personality and your characteristics and your attributes and your qualities is all the validation you need. That's all the validation you need. You got to understand that once you love yourself and once you understand that everything you do is conscious, it is intentional, it is a daily sacrifice, there's no validation necessary outside of what's within you. So when you're seeking for validation, it's not necessarily seeking validation. You're seeking somebody to approve what you already think about yourself or what you already been thinking. You're waiting for approval for your own self thoughts. And so I'm gonna give you 2 keys to not seek validation and 2 keys when seeking validation. So 1 key to not seek validation. Let me back up a little bit. Let me back up. Yep. One more time. You know, we gotta keep it light in here. We gotta keep the soulful vibes. But one thing to do to not seek validation is to wake up in the morning and find something to love yourself about. Go like first thing in the morning. I'm big on first thing in the morning when the mind is freshest. When you wake up in the morning, find something that you love about yourself, that you appreciate about yourself. And that will help a lot. Because once you find something that you love about yourself, especially with a fresh mind, with a fresh thing, because like if you try to do this late at night or in the middle of the day, in the midst of chaos, in the midst of all the busy things that's going on and the busy life that's going on right now, it can turn left. But waking up in the morning and do a little meditation, sit in the quiet for 5 to 10 minutes. I'd say even 15 minutes. Sit in the quiet and gather your mind You know what I'm saying? Let your mind just be free. Don't think about yesterday's problems or the problems that may arise in the upcoming day. Sit there with your fresh mind and find something to love yourself about, because that will help you to not seek validation if you just find something to love yourself about. And struggling with love is very hard, especially self-love. That's why I preach it so hard in my meditation classes. Like, self-love is the best love, and it's the most unacknowledged love that I can see. So it is very hard to find something to love about yourself. It's like I always tell people, it's very hard to fall in love. It's basically impossible to fall in love if you don't love yourself. That's one of the biggest validation seekers right there, is love. It's like seeking love, and you don't even know you're not loving yourself. You're out here trying to fall in love with somebody, to get somebody to love you, and you don't love yourself. Hey, my brother, my sister, you gotta love yourself before you can love anything, before you can love anyone. You gotta love what's in here, or everything you're imputing out is basically, it's an imputed emotion, a chaotic emotion, a random, sporadic, unintentional, undirected emotion, just off of the feeling that you feeling right there in the part. And it usually comes from loneliness, abandonment, and a recent exit, or a recent accident, or leave, or detachment. And so you're out here frivolously thinking you're looking for love and so ready for love and everything of that nature, and you don't understand. You're not loving yourself. You're not understanding everything that has brought you to that point. So yes, the one thing to help you is to stop seeking validation. Wake up in the morning and find something to love yourself about, and write it down, document it. Find something that you love yourself about, or at least appreciate yourself about. At least give yourself a pat on the back about. Something in the morning to give yourself a pat on the back about. Love yourself about. Appreciate yourself. That will prepare your mind to not even look outside for somebody else to give you that love. That love should be with you. Remember that. I love you. I love you. I love you. Now, second thing to not seek validation is, I would say, you have to, I ain't gonna say you have to, but to not seek validation, you have to look around the people that you're looking for validation from. Because a lot of times the people we're looking for validation from is friends, is family, is a romantic partner, or somebody you're seeking to be a romantic partner, somebody you're just started talking to and you can build a new bond with. Building new bonds is huge with seeking validation. Building new bonds, because you're trying to diagnose yourself. But with not seeking validation, you got to understand that who you're seeking validation from, and like whether it's a family, a friend, or a romantic partner, or a job source, or a opportunity, and you have to go through people or an organization or community to get to that. You got to understand why you're seeking validation from them, and who specifically, because usually it's a certain niche of people that you're looking for validation from. It's certain people you won't take validation from. It's certain people you like, man, like, I hear you and everything. They might be telling you the best thing that you can hear. It'd probably be the best thing, the most validifying thing. I hope that's a word. The most validifying thing possible. They could be telling you that, but since they're not somebody that you're seeking validation from, it means nothing. It's frivolous. It's frivolous. But the person you're seeking validation from, they're not even intuitive of what you're trying to do, of what you're trying to get validated for. They're not even to it. And that's probably why you're seeking their validation, because you don't want the yes man around. You thinking that the yeses you get are yes man. Oh, that person probably says this to everybody. That person probably says this to everybody. Well, I don't want validation from them because that person's validating everybody. They make everybody feel good. Nah, you need to appreciate that. If you believe in God, if you praying, you know what I'm saying? If you meditating and you believe in everything is working in your favor, everything is common and karma, and what you put out is what you get back. Yeah, you got to understand that whoever gives you some type of positive light, some type of positive energy should be appreciated. And should be taken into accountability, should be taken into consideration. Because the people that you are looking for, the people who are not going to validate you or that for some reason we're drawn to that because we want to see what's wrong with us. We want to see why. And then when you realize that you're not going to get the validation, really, once you get it from the person you are seeking from, it doesn't even feel that good. Because at the end of the day, it's like, okay, they just went on with their day. They gave you validation, but there's nothing that, okay, on what we eating tonight? Okay, well, I'm about to watch the game. Well, this and that nature. So you gotta understand it. Like, appreciate those small talk, those random validations. Appreciate those random validations. Like, when you're looking for a specific person or a specific group of people or a specific organization to give you validation, it definitely will get weird. You know what I'm saying? It will get weird for y'all out there. I'm speaking from my own experience, and I'm speaking from your experience. Like, I know what brought you here. I can see it. So understand that those little miracles, those little validations that come through randomly, those should be appreciated, because that's the universe aligning for you. That's the creator. That's God aligning things for you. He just wants you, like, it's just trying to get you to direct your attention to something that's not so self-enthused with seeking outside validation. He wants you to see the inside validation, because those random people that come up and do it, it's lovely. It's lovely, but it's for the fact that you're not understanding. It was so unexpected, so unattended. You just call it as a random event, and don't even take it into consideration. And what some people do, some people take those random events into consideration and they really appreciate them, but a lot of people don't. And you got to understand, like, nothing's really random in this life. I don't believe in coincidences. Everything is connected. I'm big on connecting the dots. Everything happens for a reason. So if you're actually trying to change your life, if you're seeking validation for something, and especially something positive, something life-changing, it will most likely be a random person that validates you. Multiple random people that validates you. And you have to appreciate that. And it may be a new bond to be built. You know what I'm saying? But even if it's not a new bond to be built, which I would say, if it's possible, build the bond. But if it's not a bond to be built, don't take that occasion as a random circumstance, as a frivolous circumstance. That's actually a very serious, purposeful, aligned circumstance that happened in your life. It was very divine. So take that in, to not seek validation. Now, when you are seeking validation, understand that it's only two. I'm gonna give you two things on it. Because I said not seeking validation, but sometimes it's necessary to seek validation. If it's necessary to seek validation, understand what you're trying to have validated, and already have in your mind that whatever that person says to you, good or bad, will be a learning experience. Turn all your validations, all your seeking of validations, into learning experiences, because they might not validate you. They might do validate you, but either way, you can learn from it. So approach it with a learning, as a student, as a learning mindset when seeking validation. See it as like, okay, notice what they're saying good and notice what they're saying bad. Notice why they didn't validate you and notice why they did validate you, because you got to understand, those are all things that take forward when going forward and propelling you to the next stage of validation, and you'll have a more clearer state. You won't be looking for certain responses on certain parts of what you're trying to get validated. You won't be looking for certain answers or specific answers or specific things that would just be like, okay, that's what I wanted to hear. Be open to it and be willing to learn from everything that's happening when in the validation process, when seeking that approval. Be willing to learn and be willing to understand why they're saying it. So you got to be able to take criticism. And it's not always going to be constructive criticism, but you can always turn criticism into constructive criticism if you can learn how to take accountability and see that everything is working in your favor, everything is lining up in your favor. So definitely treat, when seeking validation, treat it as a learning experience. Whether you get validated or you don't get validated, learn something from it and take it to going forward. So you have a more clear perception of what you're trying to get validated, and so you can be more validated inside already. So where that every time you are, to where it becomes normal whenever you're seeking validation, that it's no approval necessary. It's just a learning experience. Now, 2, on when seeking validation. Understand that you may be a person that's you may be a person when you're seeking that validation, the person you're talking to or the situation that you're coming into, they may be seeking validation from you. You gotta understand, a lot of people are insecure. A lot of people are dealing with anxiety, dealing with depression, dealing with a spiritual divide, dealing with a mental divide, dealing with a heartbreak, dealing with a loss of a loved one. It's a lot of things going on. So you gotta detach yourself from being so self-enthused and understand, if you are gonna seek validation, understand that that person, those people, or that situation or that organization may be seeking validation from you. So come with your best efforts, come with your best mindset, come with detail on what you're trying to be validated for, because you never know who you could be helping, who you could be validating when somebody's talking to you, when somebody may be seeking your intuition, your thought process, your wisdom, your experience, your story, your journey. Understand that that's the other people may be validated through you, seeking validation through them. And once you have that mindset, it changes everything. It changes literally everything, my brother. It changes everything, my sister. I'm trying to tell you, like, you have to, when you go in thinking, okay, I'm looking for some approval, I'm looking for some validation, I'm looking for some insight on what's going on here. But just know that who I'm seeking it from, they may be seeking some insight from me. They may be seeking some wisdom from me. They may be seeking some validation from me. And if you can come in with that, you always ready. You're not in the waiting realm, or you're not in the expectation realm. You're in the giving realm. You're in the serving realm. You're in the balance realm. And that's where you want to be, to really align yourself with where you're trying to go, and to heal yourself, and to really grow to who you're trying to be. That's why you're watching this video, for who you're trying to grow into. That's going to be a vital thing taken into these situations, is understanding that people will try to be validated through you just as much as you're trying to be validated through them. So be prepared on all spectrums, cause and effect. And that's it. Seeking validation. 2 things on why not to seek validation, and 2 things on when seeking validation. I think that will give you a good insight on everything. And I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, comment or leave me a like. Add me on social media and send me questions and anything. I'll be happy to talk about anything. And you can even DM me. We can have a personal conversation, anything of that nature. But I love my community. I love y'all. It's Richie Believe. I love you. Keep believing in yourself. Keep loving yourself. Keep loving everything around you. Don't beat yourself up. Take your time with yourself. Appreciate yourself. Things are working in your favor. Just balance yourself out. And understand and just understand it is a day-by-day process. You came a long way, baby, and I believe in you. I trust in you. I can't wait till you blow up. I can't wait until you really get to that stage where you at, and you come back and be like, dang, all it took was this. You know, it's lovely, man. I love y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. It's Richie Believe. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to be ready for my next video. I'm dropping them every day, every other day. I love you. And remember, stop seeking that validation. Be ready to validate. And already be validated inside, my brother. Already be validated inside, my sister. Hey, I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Peace, unity, love, and progression. Out.